Sorry, pulled up the wrong one. There we go. All right, well, I am going to get started because I don't want to waste any of your time. And if people jump in as we're going, I'll let them in. Thank you for everything that's happening out there. I've gotten really positive feedback from kids. They're excited. They like the work they're doing. Hopefully they're coming up with something that's really good for you. Hopefully you're seeing a lot of areas where they're thriving in and making some attachments to the people who work at your place as well as they go. Remember, just as this is like the layout of the academy, we're in the middle of it right now. They are at the end of the 4th week. So at this point, what you're seeing, hopefully, is that they're starting to transition from investigation to coming up with ideas. Students are doing great in the college course as well. The college course does try to mirror what they're doing there. So this past week, they looked at workflow. They've been looking at, like next week, they'll start looking at a budget for what they're doing for you. So the college course tries to go along with that. They do assess risk. They look at leadership. So trying to push them to work on some of those soft skills so that they can be the best project team member possible. And then we'll be getting close to that final celebration. They're going to pitch out to you the 2 days before that. So your business will get to celebrate and be together. And then we do something here at the Tech Center, which I'll talk about at the end, that we invite you to if you can make it. If you can't, we understand also. As you're working through here and you're in this creative sequence, you'll probably notice your teachers are trying to hold them in investigation. It's very hard because they want to start just coming up with ideas. I know I met with a team last week and they were trying to figure out what are more areas we need to explore before we can move on to coming up with ideas. Kids get nervous because they think they're spending too much time in investigation and they want to have a really polished product for you. So you're probably starting to see them get a little rushed and some hustle in them because the weeks go so quickly. I can't believe we're already halfway done. In the second half of the academy, they're going to be focusing on taking all of those ideas they come up with and narrowing them down to a possible solution, getting feedback. You're probably going to have a visitor come inside your business, another teacher or somebody potentially who works for the ISD or somebody else in a business that's going to give the kids feedback. It's also a great opportunity for you to give them feedback too. And then they'll work towards making that final pitch of something potentially that your business could use to solve the challenge. As we look at it laid out week by week, we're in that bottom half now. So we're going to be entering next week, week 5, week 6, week 7, and 8. And those are color coordinated based on what stages the students are in. So the next 2 weeks should be all about coming up with a solution, refining it, getting feedback. You'll see there's a mentor meeting in there. So that's a great time for your mentors even to say, hey, what is your possible solution? Let them give some feedback to the students. We want students to understand that part of the creative process is that you're constantly getting feedback and revising. It's never totally finished. We want them to even feel that when they do their final pitch to you. Those last 2 weeks are going to be building that final pitch. How are they going to deliver it to you? How do they work on their professionalism? How do they make sure that whatever their prototype idea is comes across clearly? And then we hope that when they pitch at your business, whether it's that Tuesday or Wednesday of, I think it's November 4th and 5th in there, whichever day they're coming to you, that your mentors can be part of that final pitch too. That's that final meeting, is seeing the pitch potentially, and then having time to meet and reflect with the students afterwards. We'll talk a little bit more about that mentor component, and hopefully if you have questions, I can answer those as well. When you think about the mentoring, the goal is, whether it's 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, or sometimes I know we even have 3-to-1, it's to have a professional conversation. We don't care that much about the guide that I've given you. It's great to have that as like a cheat sheet or just kind of a crutch of like, okay, if the meeting gets weird, we don't have a lot to talk about, I have questions in here. But it's okay if your mentors are going off script and they're having really engaging conversations. Something you might want to mention to them, because this is hard for the students, is at the end, it would be awesome for them to stay connected. We have as a task for the students to start emailing with them and then to ask that question. But again, we're talking about 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids who that's really hard. So if your mentors feel comfortable asking that question to say, hey, I'd love to like stay connected professionally, you know, maybe starting that ball rolling, that's fantastic. If they don't do it, we understand that's okay too. But you want to keep pushing those professional conversations with the students. I know a couple of problems that have come up in the past, and some things that we've addressed is it's really quiet, or the kids are only answering with one words. If you're seeing that happen, that's a great time to talk with the educators and be like, all right, what else can we do here? Or going back to that mentor guide and pulling on those prompts to try to get the students to talk a little bit more. They're very nervous, obviously, but this is such good practice for them. And it's also a really good way for them to get to know your business from a lens that's different than what you're giving to them. So it's from somebody who's in the mix every day, doing the things that they're doing. So I know students really enjoy this part, and I'm happy to always go through it with you, tweak it, change it, whatever we need to do to make sure that your employees are seeing the benefit in it as well. Keep in mind that end goal is that we can help the student build their social capital, build that professional network. So staying connected with that person would be fantastic. And it's not something that's like, it should be a giant burden. It would just be, hey, I tweaked my resume. Would you mind taking a look at it? Whatever it may be, that they have somebody in that world who's different than their parent, their teacher, their principal, but actually outside in a career that they might be excited about. Some things to think about as we move forward, just some future dates. I'll obviously send an email about these, but the Thursday, October 30th will be like our last group meeting like this. We'll talk about pitch week. We'll talk about that final celebration that we have here. Again, I'll record it, so if you can make it, I love it. But if you can't, I understand. And then the Academy celebration will be at the Careerline Tech Center. After this meeting, when I send these notes out, I'll send a meeting invite for that too, but it's 3:30 to 4:30 when the mentors and business ambassadors come here. We have pizza, we'll have cookies, we'll have pop, and we do a little reflection together. This year, we're going to have the students and the business ambassadors build something on AI that reflects their solution. We're going to use a program called Napkin AI to do that. And then the kids are going to have to share it out from there. So they already will put together a 2 to 3 minute thing. And then they're going to have their visual that they create in Napkin AI, which I think will be kind of fun to see and fun for them to use as a reflection tool. You do not have to bring anything to this. It's just come if you can. We encourage ambassadors to invite the mentors if they can come. That's great. But also we have some teams that it just doesn't work and they already have stuff going on or they're on vacation or whatever. So don't feel like terrible if you can't make it either. We understand it's nice if they have someone from the business, but not every team always does. The kids stay till 5. We do a little reflecting after you leave, but that 3:30 to 4:30 time is perfect if you can pop in and get to just have more of a reflection with the kids and send off. We do like little like trophies for them and certificates and just some fun stuff like that. We are launching our Academy 2026 in the winter. This is a much bigger program. It will launch the week of January 5th. It goes till that last week in February. This one, we usually in the fall have 8 to 10 teams. That one has more like 15 to 17 teams. If it's something you're interested in, we usually kind of go back to the people who did it the year before, and then we add more groups in. But if it is something you're like, yeah, I'd like to have another team, again, my asks for that are going to start going out next week. So you'll be on the lookout for that. We always say if it fits into your life, we love it. If it doesn't, we understand. We don't ever want this to be a burden for you. We want this to be a win for everyone. There's lots of business partners around the area who work with us on this, so don't ever feel obligated to do it. But we love having you in it and doing it. So appreciate that. So just starting to think about, do you want another team? Do you want to pass on it? Are you thinking about the summer, whatever it may be? As I tell people, I'll always make the ask, and you are always okay to say, not this time, Nicole, maybe next time, or yes, we're 100% in. Completely understand. So that's what I had for you guys today. Do you have any concerns, ideas, hopes, anything you're thinking about that you wanted to share with the group? I am also happy to stay on. If anybody needs to talk, without everyone here, I'm happy to do that too. I hope things are running smoothly and well, but if we have problems, then we need to address them. All right. Well, stay on if you'd like. It's good to see you all. I hope you enjoy this start of fall weather that we're having this week. It's been kind of nice to have that little crisp in the air, so that's been fun. All
Thanks,
right.
Nicole.
Well, yep, absolutely. Thanks for jumping on. We'll see you guys.
Thanks.